What if I told you that almost everything you learned as a kid was a lie? Today, we're demolishing 6 myths that have been gaslighting humanity since forever. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You've been guilt-tripped about this since kindergarten, but what if I told you it was all a marketing scam? Raise your hand if you've ever felt personally attacked for skipping breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, they said. You'll destroy your metabolism, they screamed. You're disappointing your ancestors, they whispered ominously. Plot twist, this fact didn't come from doctors, it came from cereal companies. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Kellogg's. Back in the late 1800s, John Harvey Kellogg, yes, the cornflakes guy, launched this breakfast propaganda campaign. Then in the 1900s, Big Cereal jumped on the bandwagon because, shocker, they had millions of boxes to sell. They marketed breakfast as essential, slapped it on billboards, and society just believed it. But here's what actual science says. Eating breakfast doesn't magically boost weight loss, brain power, or lifespan. What matters is your overall diet and how you treat your body throughout the day, not whether you shoved toast in your face at 7 a.m. Some people love breakfast and feel amazing eating early. Others feel like sluggish zombies and prefer intermittent fasting, which is literally just skipping breakfast, and millions swear by it. Your body doesn't run on a schedule. It runs on energy. Hungry in the morning? Eat, not hungry? Don't. Stop letting cereal boxes dictate your life choices. But wait, if breakfast was a lie, what else did they gaslight us about? Oh, I've got a good one. Carrots give you night vision. This myth literally started as wartime propaganda, and somehow we're still falling for it 80 years later. Eat your carrots so you can see in the dark. Classic parent line? Sounds legit, right? Carrots are good for your eyes, so obviously they give you superpowers, except they don't. Carrots do contain beta-carotene, which converts to vitamin A, and yes, vitamin A is essential for healthy vision. But does it give you night vision like some kind of human bat? Absolutely not. If you're severely vitamin A deficient, carrots will help restore normal eyesight. But if your vision is already fine, eating carrots won't turn you into a nocturnal predator. So where did this myth come from? World War II propaganda. The British Royal Air Force had radar technology that helped them spot enemy planes at night. But they didn't want Germany finding out, so they spread a rumor that their pilots had superhuman night vision from eating tons of carrots. People bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. And somehow, 80 years later, we're still telling kids carrots are magic. Carrots are healthy, sure, but if you're hoping to ditch your headlights after munching a few, you're going to be disappointed, and possibly in a ditch. Speaking of things we learned in school that were completely wrong, humans only have 5 senses. Aristotle said it 2,000 years ago, and we've been mindlessly repeating it ever since. Time to call BS. Pop quiz. How many senses do humans have? If you said 5, congratulations. You've been lied to since kindergarten. Sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. The classic 5. We've been parroting this since Aristotle dropped it 2,000 years ago like it was gospel, but modern science is calling total BS. Scientists have identified at least 9 senses, and some argue there are over 20. Let's talk about the ones we're completely ignoring. There's your vestibular sense. That's balance. Without it, you'd fall over every time you stood up like a drunk giraffe. Then there's proprioception, which is your body's awareness of where your limbs are without looking. Close your eyes and touch your nose. That's proprioception doing its thing. You've also got thermoception, sensing heat and cold. Nociception, that's pain. And interoception, which tells you when you're hungry, thirsty, or need to breathe. If we only had 5 senses, walking would be impossible. Breathing would be optional. Life would be absolute chaos. So next time someone confidently says humans have 5 senses, hit them with the truth. We've got at least 9, and Aristotle didn't know everything. Shocking, I know. Now here's a myth that's led to some seriously awkward beach moments. You should pee on jellyfish stings. Hollywood convinced an entire generation that the best first aid involves public urination. Let's talk about that. Okay, this one's a classic. Someone gets stung by a jellyfish and their heroic friend steps up with the ultimate beach hack, "I got you, bro," and proceeds to pee on them. Hollywood loves this move. Friends did it. Multiple movies have done it. It looks like some ancient survival wisdom passed down through generations of beachgoers. Spoiler alert, it can actually make things worse. Here's the deal. Jellyfish stings come from tiny venom-packed cells called nematocysts. When triggered, they fire venom into your skin, and some of these little jerks stay stuck, locked and loaded, ready to fire again. And guess what can set them off? Urine. Depending on its concentration and temperature, pee can actually trigger those cells to release even more venom. So, congrats, you just got peed on, and now you're in more pain. Fantastic teamwork. Really stellar problem solving. The actual fix? Rinse the sting with seawater. not fresh water because that also triggers the stingers. Then soak the area in hot water to break down the venom. Vinegar works for certain jellyfish species too. Bottom line, skip the golden shower. Save yourself the embarrassment and the extra pain. You think that's gross? Wait until you hear what people believe about what's inside their body. Blood is blue inside your veins. Look at your wrist right now. Those veins look blue, right? Well, prepare to have your reality shattered. You've probably heard someone say, blood is blue until it hits oxygen. Look at your wrist. Those veins look blue, right? Elementary school teachers showed us diagrams with blue veins and red arteries. Case closed, science proven. Except human blood is never blue. Not in your veins, not in your arteries, not anywhere. It's always red. Just different shades depending on oxygen levels. Oxygen-rich blood is bright red. Oxygen-poor blood is darker red, almost maroon, but never, ever blue. So why do veins look blue through your skin? It's an optical illusion. Blue light penetrates skin differently than red light. It scatters more easily, making veins appear bluish under your skin. It's the same reason the sky looks blue. Some people think blood turns red only when it hits air. Nope. If you cut yourself, you're not watching a color change. It was already red. You're just seeing it for the first time outside your body. This myth probably also got confused with animals like horseshoe crabs, which actually do have blue blood because they use copper instead of iron. But humans, we're stuck with boring old red. Blue-blooded royalty is just a metaphor, folks. Scientifically, we're all the same shade of ketchup. All right, this next one is about to ruin every nature documentary you've ever watched. Camels store water in their humps. Everything you think you know about desert survival is wrong, and it all starts with a camel's butt mountain. Everyone pictures camels as walking water bottles, right? Desert animals with big humps filled with gallons of H2O, ready for the ultimate survival situation, nature's camelback. Hate to break it to you, but those humps are packed with fat, not water. Up to 80 pounds of pure fat, which is basically their built-in energy reserve. When food is scarce, they burn through that fat to keep going like a biological battery. But wait, you're saying if it's not water, how did they survive in the desert for weeks? Great question. Camels are hydration ninjas. They can chug up to 40 gallons of water in one sitting. Imagine shotgunning 40 gallons and then go weeks without drinking again. Their bodies are insanely efficient. They've got oval-shaped red blood cells that keep blood flowing even when dehydrated. They let their body temperature fluctuate wildly to avoid sweating. Their kidneys are so good at conserving water that their pee comes out as thick syrup. They're basically biological masterpieces. But water in the hump? Nah, that's just something we made up because it sounded logical. Desert animal big hump. Must be water, right? Wrong. It's just fat, nature's snack pack. And there you have it. 6 myths that have been lying to your face for years officially debunked. Drop a comment telling me which myth shocked you most, and if you want part 2, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The algorithm gods demand engagement, and I'm not above begging. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.